Welcome to Tekedia Daily. I'm Ndubuisi, Ekekwe. Our conversation today will focus on digital startups and the two many types of these important emerging types of companies in the 21st century. Essentially, you have two types of startups. The first one is advertisement-supported consumer startups. The second version is software as a service. In the first version, you are looking at companies that are largely focusing on consumer markets. These are looking at individuals, looking at retailers, looking at just people who go into the internet to actually receive services from these digital companies. For these startups, in order to serve these individuals, they usually give their software free. The example includes Twitter and Facebook. These are companies that basically, they said, okay, come here and use our solution for free. But in lieu of giving you that solution for free, they now ask you for a little bit of your digital data. By using that digital data, they can build a profile which is necessary for them to go back to a third party in order to sell advertisements. Those parties are like companies that essentially would like to sell things to you, and those companies will now pay them. So their revenue typically comes from the third parties through advertisement. So in their business model, they don't necessarily market you. They don't spend a lot of money targeting you. Rather, they make products that are appealing and very, very enticing that you can actually come on board in order to use a solution. Twitter, Facebook, they don't knock on the door. They don't come to show you PowerPoints why you need to sign up to Twitter or why you need to sign up to Facebook. Rather, they have marketing teams that go to companies that buy advertisements and now spend millions of dollars in their platforms. Of course, they also have what we call self-supported advertisement. In other words, anyone can go to Facebook and set up an advertisement account and now begin to sell services in order to reach the same consumer base that are available within the Facebook ecosystem. But nevertheless, the key thing here is that the solution is free. Why? They collect the data in order to monetize that data through advertisement. For them to be successful in doing this thing, they need to have a lot of people, because if they don't have a lot of people, their ecosystem will not be valuable. The most fascinating thing about this type of companies is that the more the user, the better the value that companies and entities can derive from them. And that is what we call the network effect. The network effect is a positive continuum that says that as more people use a digital solution, it becomes more interesting and fascinating. And because it becomes more interesting and fascinating, more people want to join. And as more people join, they have more data in order to improve that particular product. These companies build on what we call aggregation constructs, which I have explained extensively in Tekedia blog. In aggregation construct here, you're looking at that they can just have these ecosystems, and now people go to Facebook, post images, post photos, post articles, post things, and without them necessarily investing in any raw material, they are actually making use of all the data that people are sharing about themselves on Facebook, and then using that, they actually build a great business. They aggregate data from multiple sources across and within their ecosystems, and using those constructs and data, they now can actually build a strong business. But in software as a service, you are looking at companies that are focusing on enterprises, companies that are focusing on companies, entities as SMEs and large and small enterprise companies. These are not companies that are just only small. They can be of any scale. In this business, you are looking at the customer or the user being the person that pays for that service. So typically, most times, the way it works is that you have to give a trial period to some of these entities, and they try your product, and after a period of time, depending on if they like it or not, they will pay. If they don't, okay, you can say, okay, you go. But of course, you need to make the products so appealing so that during the period of trial, they can see the value that you have created by solving a specific friction in the market through the software. Because the essence of business is really to fix frictions in markets. And if that software is fixing a specific friction in the market, like a real estate or educational app solution from universities, or a real estate solution for people in the real estate business, or a software for an insurance company, or even a banking solution, these are software as a service entities. And what happens here is that these entities now pay you in order for them to make use of your solution. Example is Box, which is a cloud-based data storage company, which focuses largely on enterprise. While Dropbox is mainly the consumer focused, though it has also moved to the enterprise side of the business. Boss has extensively built a business around the enterprise section. So the customers pay in order to use Boss and activate most of the features within Boss, so as they use that solution to share data and as well as to store data. So they market directly to the end users of the solution because the end users of the solution pay them. Unlike in consumer and supported businesses, they do not market to the end user, they market to the third parties because they run through advertisements. So if you are starting a digital startup today in Nigeria or anywhere in Africa, these are really your options. And depending on the quality of your product and depending on the specific nature of that product, depending on the type of friction you want to solve in that market, these are the only two options. You are listening to Tekedia Daily. I'm Ndubuisi. Ekekwe.